You ever get a text message that looks polite, but you feel like it's covering up a crime scene somehow? Something like, no worries, exclamation point, smiley emoji. Translation, I'm absolutely worried and you're going to pay for this. Or, hey, just checking in, exclamation point, AKA, I'm seething with rage, but refuse to say it out loud. Or, hey, quote unquote, we should talk. Oh, should we? Or should I pack a bag first? Am I in some type of danger here? Words don't lie, but people do. And today we're driving into Hollywood's messiest text war, Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni. Oh my goodness. Have you been following this? Blake says Justin harassed and smeared her. Justin says Blake and Ryan Reynolds and their PR team tried to extort him. And between the lawsuits, we have text receipts. Let's put on our detecting deception goggles and find out who's full of shit.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my podcast today in the driver's seat with me, Janine Driver. I am so happy you're here.
Are you ready for one of the coolest podcasts on the web? Janine Driver is a badass. She's an expert on body language, persuasion, emotional intelligence, decision-making hack. 9-minute badass brain hacks for a happier life and stronger relationships.
Because we're now friends, and because I promise you we're going to have a ton of fun today, I'm wondering if you could do me a small favor. I'm wondering if you will promise me that you won't listen to this show just to be nice. You will only listen and follow if you see the value in it and you truly love my show In the Driver's Seat. Sound fair enough?
This is In the Driver's Seat with Janine Driver.
Why should this matter to you? All right, well, welcome to In the Driver's Seat, the place where you're going to get 9-minute brain hacks to read people, spot deception, and never get played again by your boss, your ex, or that one friend who, quote unquote, forgets their wallet every time you go out. Today, we're breaking down the text exchanges behind Hollywood's biggest legal drama right now. By the end of this episode, you will be able to A, spot fake apologies before they gaslight you into oblivion. B, decode hidden power moves in text messages. C, text like an absolute boss and never send a weak message again. And trust me, you will never, ever look at a celebrity scandal the same way again. All right. First up, let's break down Blake Lively's text messages. The quote unquote, I have dragons power move. Yes, one of the leaked texts screams power play move. Quote unquote, I'm like Khaleesi and I have dragons watching over me, meaning Ryan and Taylor Swift. Oh, we're doing Games of Thrones references now. First red flag is if you're going to tell the truth, you don't need to compare yourself to a dragon person who has an army of dragons backing you up. I mean, this is a classic intimidation move, meaning don't mess with me, I've got connections. Brain hack number 1, people who oversell their power are trying to impersonate something they don't already have. They're trying to let you know they wield it. Number 2, softening strategy, Baldoni's apology move. Now, Justin's text, the man is apologizing like he's in a hostage situation. Quote, I just feel like maybe we should talk. Really hate that you're feeling this way. I'm sorry you're upset. That is not an apology. That's a linguistic trap, dance around for lack of accountability. If someone says, I'm sorry you feel that way, what that really means is, I refuse to take responsibility for what I did, and I'd like you to shut up about it now. Brain hack number 2, a real apology is short and direct and owns the mistake. Think like the Da Vinci Code, right? You don't need to decode the message. Now let's go full FBI mode and break down some science-backed deception tactics. Fact number 1, liars, for the most part, use more words than truthful people. They've tried to over-explain. Truthful people convey, liars try to convince. The dragons flex, instead of saying, I got people who have my back, sheds this whole other metaphor of Game of Thrones. Unnecessary details equals highly possible exaggeration. Fact 2, honest people use more I statements. Liars distance themselves from their actions by avoiding I statements. Justin's passive apology, I hate that you feel that way, instead of I messed up. Fact 3, fake apologies are full of negative language. When people fake remorse, they overcompensate with dramatic words like deeply saddened, profound regret, devastated beyond belief. Ever read a celeb's note apology? Yeah, check it out. Hey, I don't buy it, and this is why, is what you'll be saying. Lie detector challenge, BS or no BS. Let's play a game. All right, this is your time to test your deception detection skills. I'm going to read 3 apology texts. One of them is real, and the other 2 are BS. Listen carefully. See if you can spot the legit one. Text number 1. I hate that this happened, and I'm sorry if I hurt you. I never meant it to turn out this way. Number 2, I take full responsibility for what I did. It was wrong, and I understand you're upset. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Text 3, I'm really sorry you feel that way. It's just been a lot lately, and I wish things were different. Think you know the answer? I'll give you a second. I'm going to pause for dramatic effect. The real apology is number 2. It's short, direct, and takes full responsibility. The others, straight up, avoid the blame. I hate that this happened. I did it this way. It's passive. I'm sorry you feel that way. It means your problem, not my problem, right? And texting someone for an apology, be careful of these red flags because maybe they're really not sorry. Now let's look at the Hall of Fame or shame, the best and worst text ever sent. All right, here we go. The Hall of Fame or shame, where we crown the best and the worst messages ever sent in Hollywood history. First up, the Hall of Fame award goes to, here we go, the best clapback ever. Winner, Rihanna. When an ex texted her, quote unquote, I miss you at 3 a.m., she wrote, for what? Simple, savage, perfect. The lesson, when someone from your past slides back into your DMs, you don't have to open the door. And now for the Hall of Shame. The worst celebrity message. The winner, any politician who ever said, I'm sorry if anyone was offended. Translation, I'm not actually sorry. I just don't like the backlash. If your apology includes the word if, it's trash. The alternative is what? I said something. I apologize. It won't happen again. That's accountability. There's this interesting video clip of Nixon where he was interviewed on these infamous interviews with Frost. And in this particular clip, Nixon says something along the lines of,
I let down the American public. I let down kids who wanted to go into politics or had thought about doing it. I let down people who supported me. I let down people who believed in me.
And he's saying, I. Now he laughs here. And when you see this clip over on YouTube in the driver's seat with Janine Driver.
I let down my friends. I let down the country. I let down our system of government, dreams of all those young people that ought to get into government but will think it's all too corrupt and the rest. I let down an opportunity that I would have had for 2.5 more years to proceed great projects and programs for building a lasting peace, which has been my dream, as you know, from our first interview in 1968, before I had any thought I might even win that year. I didn't tell you I didn't think I might win, but I wasn't sure. Yep, I let the American people down, and I have to carry that burden with me for the rest of my life.
You'll see that he's kind of laughing here. So some detecting deception experts say, oh, he's lying because he's laughing. In my world, that's called duping delight, when someone laughs when they shouldn't be laughing, like I'm getting away with something here. However, I like to say with laughing, it's he, H-E-E. We laugh for happiness, we laugh for evil, the duping delight, and we laugh for embarrassment. I think with Nixon, this laugh is an embarrassment laugh because he's saying this I statement. He very easily could have said a you statement. You run for president, you let people down, you let the kids down that want to go into politics one day, you let your fans down and your supporters. He doesn't say you. When is it okay to say you? When it's common to mankind. You see me limping. You're like, Janine, what happened? And I'm like, oh, you stay at a hotel that you've never been in before and you wake up in the middle of the night to the bathroom and you stub your toe because you're not sure where you are. Yeah, that's what happened. So you is okay when it's common to mankind. So when you're listening to people, are they saying an I statement or a you statement? We'll often hear in politics or in the sports arena when someone's like taking accountability, they're really not. They're like, hey, you do the best you can as the head of the NFL, Roger Goodell, right? You do this, you do that. This information you don't know. Listen, dude, this is not common to mankind. You were deflecting, owning it. But with Nixon, he says, I let down people. I did this. I did that. I think that laughter there is connected with embarrassment. So listen for those I statements. Those I statements are ownership. I'm owning what I'm saying. And if someone's laughing, stop and say, he. Should they be happy here? Probably not. And are they embarrassed, or is this evil? Do they think they're getting away with something? Ask yourself that question. Hey, one time I was on court TV, an older court TV, like 15 years ago, and there was a woman who had killed her mom and her father, and she's on the stand. They buried the parents under the rose bushes. And in the courtroom, she starts laughing. She's laughing. And court TV calls me in and says, hey, whatever it was called then, hey, they want me to say she killed them on purpose and they're lying. She's lying on the stand. But what she was saying on the stand is she said that her father, when she was a little kid, like 6 or 8 years old, raped her one time and had a loaded gun in her mouth. And the gun was right there and his hand was right next to the trigger. And when she's telling this story, she starts kind of laughing in court. And as you might imagine, the producers were like, this didn't really happen, right? That's why she's laughing. And I said, no, this is embarrassment. It's likely embarrassment. As a matter of fact, she even said the only time she ever told the story was she wrote it in a letter to her girlfriend. She's never said it out loud. And here she is saying out loud to a judge, to a jury, to cameras and reporters and strangers in the courtroom. Stop and ask, is this really a laughter of evil, the stooping delight? Or could it be, is it possible the person's laughing over embarrassment? You fire someone from their job and they're laughing. Are they laughing because they're embarrassed or because they're about to write some really bad shit about you online? The takeaway is spotting deception isn't just about what someone says. It's about how they say it and word choices they use. So next time you're analyzing yourself or others, ask yourself, what words are being used here? Is someone dodging I statements? Is this apology full of negative words instead of real accountability? Final thoughts. Let's wrap this up like a bad PR statement. Think about it. What did we learn today in less than 9 minutes? Blake's Khaleesi flex, power move, Justin's soft apology, deflection. Liars talk too much and dodge I statements and overuse dramatic language. And Rihanna is a national treasure who should teach classes on ghosting. Your homework is this. Go reread the last apology you received. Was it real or full of red flags? And DM me your best or worst text messages, and maybe I'll break them down in my next episode. Coming up next week, the #1 email manipulation tactic HR departments are using so you never get played again. And did you have a celeb you want me to analyze? Let me know. Remember, words don't lie, but people do. Stay sharp, stay confident, stay being a badass. My name's Janine Driver, and you've been listening to In the Driver's Seat with us talking about Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni. What are your thoughts on this episode and this case? Let me know. In the meantime, enjoy being a badass all week.
Thanks for tuning in to In the Driver's Seat with Janine Driver. Use these insights to make your life easier and relationships stronger. Remember, you matter and belong, and you're not alone on this journey. If this is your first time in the driver's seat, Janine would like to give you a free gift. You're invited as her guest to join her live weekly online class to master the new body language so you can boost your relationships. Sign up now at www.janinedriver.com. That's janinedriver.com. Until next time, keep driving forward. Bye now.
I hope you learned some cool shit today to make your life easier and grow your relationships. And if you happen to be inspired to look at your world differently, I'm wondering if you'll recommend my show In the Driver's Seat with me, Janine Driver, to some of your friends, because that's exclusively how this show is growing. Thanks to you and people just like you, but only if you like the show. Sound good?